Hey, Mike.
Hey, John, what's going on, man?
Oh, nothing much. How you been doing?
Oh, I can't complain. Just working my butt off.
Same here as well.
Yeah. How'd
So,
you make out for the storm, man? You did okay?
I did all right. There's no wind damage or anything like that with the storm, so I'm actually glad that we were actually the lucky ones to not have any damage or anything.
That's good. That's
How
good.
about you?
Yeah, we got a little bit of roof damage, but nothing too bad.
I'm glad that you made it out all right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And my girlfriend's house, uh, she made it out all right. It's just her neighborhood got destroyed. She lives down on over in the Bay St. Louis area.
Oh yeah. That's where I work over in Bay St. Louis at the casino still.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's right. You're still doing the security thing over there.
No, I work in surveillance now.
Oh, surveillance, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
It's pretty cool.
So I just want to say thank you for joining me tonight for this episode for season 2 of The Sopranos.
Oh yeah, no problem, man.
All right. So, hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. And for tonight's podcast episode, I actually have Mike Perkins with me today. So, hello to everyone, Mike.
Hello, everyone.
And we're actually going to do season 2 of The Sopranos. This is going to be another one of those season 2 talking Sopranos moments. So, sit back and relax, and let's get on with this thing. So, let's see here. The very first thing that we actually need to talk about is the fact that Pussy has actually disappeared. Nobody knows where Pussy is at.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's actually been X amount of time since Tony's actually seen Pussy.
Mm-hmm.
And, I like that whole entire mystery element that they actually put into the show. I still remember the where's Pussy at? I still remember the T-shirt that they came up with
Oh yeah. I remember that
with
stuff.
HBO. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Oh yeah. I remember that for sure.
And then all of a sudden, Tony wakes up one morning and he sees Pussy. Pussy's car is right there, but you can tell that he's a little bit startled because he's not expecting him. He's kind of blindsided,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, Tony's first thought was like, "What the fuck? What? Where have you been?"
Yep.
And he goes, "Oh, I was overseas with these girls and everything. I threw my back out."
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And it's bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Tony is that because at that point we think that he's actually not being faithful to Tony or anything like that. Tony's also eyeing him a little bit. You can actually tell that he's trying to fill him up a little bit, trying to
Uh-huh.
figure out
Yep.
if he's bullshitting him
And
or not.
that's when Tony hugs him and feels to see if he's got a wire, right?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
where he goes, "Come here, you big fat ass." And I'm just paraphrasing, but
Yeah.
he starts filling him up and everything. He goes, "Oh, Tony, what the fuck are you doing?" He goes, "I'm trying to." It was just good to see you. And he's over there
Oh yeah.
rubbing his chest. He
Oh
goes,
yeah.
"Why don't you just ask me if I'm fucking wearing a wire or not?" So I definitely love that aspect where he's not. I'm glad that they didn't do it where, oh, my friend has come back, everything's good and everything, but you actually have to look at it from a Mafia angle standpoint and
Mm-hmm.
everything. If one of my earners is not there and all of a sudden he just shows up out of the blue,
Mm-hmm.
where the hell
Yep.
is he?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
Dude. This might be one of my favorite seasons because of the way it all plays out, man. It's brilliant. It's a good one. This is a good season.
it's
Yeah.
definitely a good season. Not only that, but Michael Imperoli, the actor who plays Christopher,
Mm-hmm.
he actually directed one of the episodes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
I didn't know that either until I was listening to the Talking Sopranos podcast
Mm-hmm.
when they were reviewing season 2.
Yeah.
And I think it was the Funhouse one is the one that they actually interviewed, that he actually directed.
Which one was the Funhouse?
The one where Tony's having those off the wall dreams.
That's my favorite episode. So Chris or Michael, how do you say his last name?
Imperoli.
Emperoli. So he directed that episode.
Yeah.
No shit. That's my all-time favorite episode. I love the dream episodes. I love them.
The dream episodes are really good and a little bit out there. It makes you think a little bit on a psychiatry level.
Yeah.
It's just that's what I really loved about it.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of which, I really have to say I loved the whole entire thing. All of a sudden, Tony's sister just comes into town as well.
I was about to mention that. Yeah, Janice. I actually enjoy. A lot of people didn't like Janice, but I like her because I like what she does to Tony. Like she gets him so pissed off all the time, and I like the way he reacts with her. You know what I'm saying? The interaction between those two is a phenomenal to me. You know what I'm saying? I love it. You know, they do it in a way where it looks realistic, like how you really are with your family. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It definitely
Mm-hmm.
does have that brother sister aspect to it, which is something that I really like.
Yeah.
And a matter of fact, she wasn't even going to be a series regular up until Tony's mom winds up passing away in the third season.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, when the actress actually did pass away, who plays Tony's mother, they winded up getting Janice back, the actress who plays Janice, and she
Yeah.
just became a series regular.
Yeah, and you know, it like I said, what I like about it is they make it very realistic. Like you know, because we all have that, you know, aunt or sister or somebody in our family that's like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that would get
Just over
really
the
under our
top.
skin.
Yeah, and
Right,
get just so over the top. You know, everything. You
exactly.
know, it's the end of the world. You know.
My favorite thing she says is the fact that she's a Buddhist,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then all of a sudden her tune totally changes later on, where
Hmm.
she slowly exits out of being a Buddhist,
Yeah.
and then it goes slowly back into a mob wife type of person.
And doesn't Tony like take little jabs about that about her always flip flopping? Like
Yeah, he
yeah,
does.
yeah, he does.
He mentions that though. He goes, "Okay, what religion are you in now?"
Yeah.
Or somewhere along to those terms. I'm just paraphrasing.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love the whole interaction with those two. It was great.
Me too. The smack talking is really good. Being introduced into to Janice is good. We're
Hmm.
also introduced into Richie as well.
Richie, yeah, yeah,
Richie April.
yeah. Uh-huh. I didn't like him from the beginning, man. From when when he was first introduced, I just didn't like him. He had that, like, I don't know. You didn't trust him, you know?
No, he had that pissed off uh look. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where he's like, everybody needs to cater to me and bow down to me because I did X amount of years in jail.
yeah.
And no one came to see me or anything like that. So I'm going to be pissed off at everyone who didn't come and see me.
I mean, he's the reason why. I mean, he's the reason that Jackie ended up getting killed. Really, if you think about it, because all the pumping his head up, you know?
True.
Yeah. I mean, just
I didn't think about
constantly.
that.
Oh yeah, constantly pumping his head up and telling him what he should be doing and be more gangster basically. And he just and Jackie wasn't cut out for that. He just
Right.
wasn't. Yeah,
That's true. But
yeah,
Ralphie also had a big impact on Jackie as well.
yeah. Ralphie too. Oh shit,
So it's,
that's you know what? I'm mixing the two up. Ralphie and Richie. I'm mixing those two up.
but,
So spoiler alert for Ralphie.
but no, Richie actually had a little bit to do with that though, too.
Yeah, a little bit. It didn't. Was it who gave Jackie the gun, the 38? I can't remember. Was it Richie or
That was
Ralphie?
Ralphie.
That was Ralphie. That's right. He was making spaghetti, and okay, yeah,
Yeah.
sure was. Yeah.
But
Always get those two mixed up.
they are very close hand to hand together because they're both similar in a different way.
Hmm.
So it's easy to get those mixed
And
up.
and they both end up dating Janice, don't they?
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Except for one thing. Ralphie's tick with Janice was having a dildo shoved up his ass.
yeah.
So,
That's that's sick little freak.
and the thing with
I forgot about
Richie,
that.
and the thing with Richie was he wanted a 38. He wanted to go ahead and put a 38 to Janice's head while they're having sex
Yeah, that's right.
and
Yeah,
having a talking dirty to him.
she's into them kinky motherfuckers. Yeah,
Right? But that's way past Kiki on my list.
yeah, yeah. That's a little much. Yeah.
But
I don't want anything to do with the dildo or the 38. You know
same
what?
here as well. Uh, but yeah, I really have to say I like the whole fact though too because, like I said, Richie does play into the fact that he was the reason why Jackie was kind of like that as well. Because remember in the scene where they're standing in the rain and Jackie winds up telling Tony, he goes, "You need to show Richie some respect." And then Tony says, "Those who want respect, give respect."
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's when Richie said, "You see, kid, this is what he did. This is what Tony's telling you is you need to go on ahead and shut the fuck up."
Mm-hmm. Yep.
is basically what he said. Like I said, I'm paraphrasing some of it, but
Yeah. And also, I believe that this was the season when I don't remember exactly what happened between the two, but I mean there was always things happening between Tony and Chris. But I
yeah,
believe I believe this was the season when Tony had said to Chris, I believe it was either at a wake or a funeral, and he grabbed him by the shirt and he slammed him against the wall and he told him, he said, "You don't have to love me. He said, if you don't love me, that breaks my heart, but you have to respect me." And the way he
yep,
said it, man, was like that was some deep shit, man. It was deep. That was a very good episode.
it was. It goes deeper than blood on that part.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it's about respecting the boss of the family,
Mm-hmm. And
and also
he was so passionate about it when he said it.
right. Another thing though too is Chris. Also, this is actually in the second episode called D Girl,
Mm-hmm.
where Christopher is being introduced to. Uh, remember whenever he's what's her name? The one that plays the girlfriend of Christopher's.
Adriana.
Adriana.
Okay.
Remember
Yeah.
when she said, "Oh, I have a cousin that works in the film industry."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was the whole thing with him meeting up with her
Yeah. That's right.
and everything.
That's right.
And yeah, and then that also caused conflict with Tony as well
Yeah. Yep.
because he doesn't want him to be part of that world.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that conflict right there. But Jon Favreau was in this episode as well.
Oh yeah. Yep. I love that episode.
I do too, and it also shows you the breakdown of what actors and stuff like that have to go through on the set, what directors do. Gives you a whole entire layout of how many scripts that directors actually look at, even when they're in the production of certain things.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But it also goes to show you how sneaky some people are, where they'll use you
Oh yeah. For sure.
and everything in that kind of business.
Oh yeah.
Because they got the hell out of they used the hell out of Christopher
Oh
whenever they
yeah.
got all the
For
information,
sure. They got
especially
all the information from him. Yeah.
between like that he actually talked about, where somebody burned gasoline on her,
Yeah.
and then that part was in the script.
Yep.
And then John also asked him, "Are you strapped?"
Yeah. Yeah. And he pulls it out. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
And then also too, the Bukyak thing was also pretty cool though too, with Janine Garofalo.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I love her, man. I love her acting. She's good.
Me too.
Yeah, she's very good. John Favreau too. I love John Favreau, man. Hey, you've seen the movie Swingers, right? With him and
Yep.
yeah, I love that. Have you ever done a review on that?
You know what? It's something that I've been thinking about doing, so we might
Yeah,
actually have to do that.
that'd be cool, man. I love that movie. I'd like to
All right.
rewatch it again. Yeah,
Okay, we can
yeah,
definitely give that a shot.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But
Anyway,
I not only that, but it just goes to show too that the girl that was actually using Chris as well, because they both wind up sleeping together.
hmm yeah,
And then also too, we also see Richie on this other thing though too, on this other part scene where he runs over the guy at the pizza shop.
yeah, yeah. That poor bastard. Yeah.
Boy, did he
hmm
he got the worst of it. Like first, he just gets a coffee. He ends up hitting him with the coffee dispenser and everything.
Yeah, yeah. He ran over him with
Co-
the car.
And then after that, Tony said, "Didn't I tell you to back off of him?" He goes, "I did." Then I put it in reverse.
What a smart ass, huh?
Right? I'm like, okay, Tone, you need to go on ahead and let him go. We need to
Mhm.
kill him.
Yep.
And he's not doing anything but cause more friction
Yeah. Yeah,
in the family and everything.
for sure.
So I don't understand why he wanted to keep him around,
And
especially if he
see,
didn't add anything to him.
Richie was too much of a loose cannon, man. He was just too wild.
He was. And if you think about it, when you see Janice doing her yoga workout
Yeah.
and you see him in there, you already know what he's after.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
it's not just to be with Janice. He figures, okay, if I can actually earn Tony's respect, I'm going to go through Janice to get to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to try and
Yeah.
use him as a way to do something.
After the yoga class, doesn't it may be a few episodes after that, but Tony goes to the house, to his mom's house, and Richie opens the door, and he's in his
Yeah,
underwear and shit. Yeah, Tony didn't like that.
no, he did not like that at all. But then, remember too, he also gave him a jacket.
Oh yeah, yeah, he gave him the jacket. Yeah,
Hey, you like the jacket, don't you? And Tony's like, yeah, it's all right. You can tell that he doesn't like it.
and he gives him the jacket, and then doesn't Richie see the jacket somewhere, like in the
He
trash or
gave it to
something?
one of his bodyguards or
That's what it
something.
was. Yeah, and it pissed him off. Like it hurt his feelings. Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
Yeah, he's like a
He goes,
kid,
what the fuck?
like a big kid.
He was.
And this is
He's like,
if I'm not, I might be wrong. But Meadow, doesn't she go to college in the season?
yeah, she actually goes to college in the season.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't think if it was this season or season 3.
Yeah, it was in this season, I believe, that she actually goes to college.
Yeah, yeah,
Because,
she's another good one. Have you seen the podcast with her and AJ? They have their own
no.
podcast. Yeah, it's called oh man, I'll have to look it up and send it to you. I think it's called Pajama Pants or something like that, or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird name. I'll have to send it to you later. It's
Please
good.
do,
Yeah, it's
because
good.
okay, because I've been looking for other cast members that actually are talking about The Sopranos.
Yeah. Well, they don't
So,
really. They talk about the Sopranos in some, in some episodes, but they just talk about other shit, But it's still cool to
okay,
see them, together. Like talking
okay,
and shit. Yeah.
yeah. The first episode that they actually have for the opening was a guy walks into a psychiatrist's office, and then "Do Not Resuscitate" is the second episode.
Okay.
Um, and that's also where they talk about Livia doing a DNR. AJ has to write a report
Yeah.
because of the whole DNR thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember that now.
Right? And he goes, Grandma, what's a DNR? Is it like DNA? And then Livia's mind is just going
Yeah.
in places because she's supposedly supposed to have a stroke after the fact
Mm-hmm.
that you know she doesn't remember that she almost tried to whack her own son.
Yeah, and she clearly she remembers that shit. She's just playing it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Boy, that's a dysfunctional family, man.
That is
Isn't it?
okay. In episode, oh, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so in episode 2, also Junior lawyer manages to get him on released on house arrest.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And remember what he says to the judge, which I thought was a really good, funny line. He winds up telling him, he says, "It's like Nazi Germany to me, being on house arrest."
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like,
That's a bit extreme.
dude,
That's a bit extreme, Junior.
that's what the guy who plays Bobby Bacala said too. He goes, "That's big extreme." Compare that to the
Yeah.
but still, like,
Uncle June, he never got enough respect for me, man. I loved Uncle Junior, man. I loved him. I thought he was great.
I did too.
Yeah.
I really do. I liked Uncle June from he's just an old school old timer
Mm-hmm.
that grew up within the mob and everything.
Yep. I feel like
And
he got fucked over the most, man.
well, let me just say something that Bobby Bacala, the actor that plays him, said.
Yeah.
He said you can definitely tell he might have got fucked over in his past life because Tony lives in this big old huge mansion, right?
Yeah.
And Uncle June lives in this little shitty house.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, nonetheless, back in those days, though, this is just me speculating.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to the Goodfellas thing where it's like, okay, you just made a big score, so you don't go out and buy extravagant things.
Right.
So maybe their old school way of is just laying low and not making a lot of noise to show that you have money.
Right. Right.
So maybe that's why.
Yeah, it could have been that. Yeah, where he was just kind of laying low and not showing the flash.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking because they're more old school than what Tony is. Tony don't care. He'll fly.
They're
He
so
just don't give a shit.
they're so old school that they don't even believe in how can I say this? They don't believe in going down on a girl. You know,
No,
they look at that as being feminine. You know.
right, being gay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Because that goes back over to season 1 where we actually talked about that.
yeah.
With the whole entire thing where
Uh,
it was supposed to be a low key thing that Uncle Junior was doing. Next thing you know, there was a big joke.
the whole Bob ends up knowing about it.
Right? But let's see. In episode 3, this other one is called Toodle Fucking Ooh.
Toodle fucking ooh. What was that one about? I can't refresh my memory.
Okay, that one was with Melfi, where she winds up seeing Tony in the same restaurant.
Mm. Mm.
So,
Okay.
you know, so her last words to him wasn't saying goodnight or whatever. It's like toodaloo.
Yep. Yeah. It's your
So,
toodle fucking ooh. Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
because she talks about that in Elliot's office, which is the psychiatrist that she goes to.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I liked about it was where everybody is sitting at the table. Silvio, you have Polly Walnuts, you have all the mafia people sitting there. He goes, "Who was that? Your guma?" He said, "He goes, we talk, you know."
Yeah, they definitely
And
talk.
right, and he goes, "Do you talk or do you talk?" Like, and he goes, "What was she like giving a blowjob?" So he goes, and he turns around and he said, with a big smirk on his face, "She was the best I ever had." And then next thing you know, Paulie said, made a joke about the Eiffel Tower or some shit.
Yeah. Oh, Polly Walnuts, man.
Yeah,
He's something else.
he was. He was a
Oh
character,
yeah, for sure.
especially in the third season
Hmm.
with the Russian.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah. That's a great one, man. That's a great one.
as a matter of fact, this is actually the episode where Richie actually gets out of prison that we
Oh,
were
okay.
actually talking
Okay,
about.
the third episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's actually Jackie's older brother,
Hmm. Jackie
and
Senior, his older brother. Yeah.
yep, and he tries to re-enter the family business. His lack of understanding of how things work since he went to prison causes friction.
Hmm.
And not only that, but his clothes are also out of date
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Big time.
It was like he was in the disco era and he came into the 1990s era,
Yeah.
the late 90s era.
And see,
So,
and he was under the impression that when he gets out, he was going to have more, and be higher up than what he was.
right, and
Yeah.
that's not the case.
Right. That's right. Yeah. This is Tony's show now. It's a different world.
Right.
You know.
And this was actually an episode that aired in 2000.
Okay.
So, Tony and Meadow, get this, Meadow trashes her grandmother's house.
Mm. Oh,
And,
because they had that party there. Yep.
right.
Mm.
And then Janice the next morning have no clue that they're even talking about Livia's home or anything like that.
Yeah.
And she thinks that they're being too hard on Meadow
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
and everything and standing up for Meadow.
Yep.
And then, of course, Tony and them don't know what to do with Meadow
Right.
or anything like that either.
Hmm.
Okay, she's not going to college yet. She goes to college in the third season.
Oh,
Now
okay.
that I'm
Yeah, I
remembering.
couldn't remember. That's right. Okay. Yeah, on
Okay,
this season they're looking for the college. Like they're looking for colleges, right?
they're still looking for colleges and everything.
Yeah.
Even in the first season, they were looking for
Hmm.
colleges for her to go to.
Yeah, that's right.
Because remember, one of the episodes in season 1 was called College.
And that's when Tony whacked the guy.
Right.
Yep, that's right. Okay. Yeah.
So, I really like the setup for this, and not only that, but Tony, Tony's like, okay, what the fuck do we do? We can't spank her, or else she's going to call child services on us.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
He's a little old for a spanking. That would just be
Right?
weird.
And so they're like, Meadow goes, well, I have a solution. You can take away my credit card.
Yeah.
And Tony's like, okay, damn right we are. Like,
Yeah,
being the tough parent whenever he's really not.
yeah,
And
yeah,
Meadow has that little smirk, like she knew she got
yeah.
away with something.
Her kids coming up, or his kids coming up with the damn punishment.
Right.
Yeah, that's really being punished.
And she knows that she got over on Tony.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what did you what did you think about that episode as a whole?
Which one now? The episode.
The total fucking ooh.
Oh, the Toodaloo. Yeah, that was a good episode, man. That was a good one. It didn't have as much action, you know what I'm saying? As much, beating people up and killing people, whatever. But it was a good
Right.
episode. It was a good one. It was a good, you know, like a good filler episode, that you need.
Right.
You
And
know?
I also feel like this though too, it actually introduces your villain for the season.
Yep.
Then it also questions your own inability whenever you're talking to somebody and then you're leaving. It's like, wait, what the fuck did I just say?
Right. Yep.
Kind of thing,
Yep.
Because when Melfi goes on and sees Elliot, she goes, really? Toodle fucking ooh?
Yeah, I love
What,
that. I
what,
love
what,
that line.
what was I fucking thinking? Elliot then goes on ahead, goes through a psychiatry of why she winds up being two separate people. There's Melfi, the psychiatrist doctor, and then there's Melfi, just the person outside of the office.
Yeah. Yep.
So now we're dealing with another thing too, and this is called the Commandatori, which is also taking place in Italy.
Oh yeah. This is when shit, what's his name? The Italian guy. This is when he gets introduced, right?
Right. This is where Furio first gets
Furio,
introduced,
that's it. Yeah.
which is actually one of my favorite characters on the show.
Mine too. Mine too.
But I really like how Paulie has this big old huge thing of what Italy is supposed to be,
Yeah.
and that winds up being smaller than what it
And
actually
it
is.
crushes him, man. It just crushes him. Because he had this big elaborate idea of what Italy's supposed to be, and it's just not.
No,
I mean, even when it comes down to the food that they're eating, man, he's like, can I? What does he say? Can I get any what does he say? Red gravy or red sauce?
yeah, can I get some spaghetti and meatball?
Yeah, and they laugh at
And
him.
goes, and then goes, what the fuck? This is what the guy is saying. He goes, what do you mean, spaghetti and meatball?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, the red gravy, you go ahead, you get the red gravy and everything, you put it on there, and then there's the meatball and the spaghetti. And then they're over there making fun of him in Italian
Oh yeah.
and everything too. And then he's over there tapping Tony's shoulder. He goes, "Hey, Tone, did you try this? Hey, Tone, look at that."
Yeah.
But
that hurt his feelings so bad, man. It wasn't.
also,
Yeah, it wasn't what it was in his head.
right, and the whole entire reason why they're even over there is because Tony jacked a couple of cars
Yeah.
for the people in Italy to actually buy.
Yeah. That was a huge score. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Right, and basically also too, Uncle June is kind of upset with Tony because he didn't get to go to Italy.
Yep. Yep.
And he's also mad too because there's also one house arrest.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So yeah, Junior's looking at it like Junior's technically supposed to be head of the family, but he's on house arrest and he can't make the moves like Tony can. So
right.
Junior feels like he's missing out and shit, which he was. But I mean, they can't help it that he's on house arrest.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. But then you also have Carmela that's pissed off at Tony.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because like I said, all coming from all spectrums.
Well, yeah, but what's new? Carmela's always pissed
right?
at Tony about something.
And Mena's not making it any better either. She's like, "Are you sure that you and Mom wouldn't want a little menage a trois or anything like that?" And then Janice is putting her 2 cents in and saying, "Oh, I've been to Italy before, and everything. It's not as great as what people makes it out to be." Mm-hmm. Knowing probably she never went into her fucking life,
right.
But
Right.
But I think she was at that point. I'm not sure if she was trying to lie or trying to make the situation better at that point. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, I know you're upset, but let me lie about it, try and make things a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
But But whenever my other favorite part though with Paulie is the fact he goes, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom,"
Mhm.
and the bathroom is filthy, but
Yeah. And you know how he
but
is, man.
basically.
He's a nut when it comes to like germs and shit. You know.
He was doing social distancing before social distancing was
Yeah. No
cool.
shit. Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
By the way, we are going to talk about that whenever that actually comes up because I love that line whenever Tony tells him to hang him. Go on ahead, eat some vagul, and hang yourself with your shoelaces.
Yeah, it's true. But it's true though. Like what he says
Right.
is actually, it's like it's funny, but yeah. I don't want to touch my shoestrings either when you think about it like that.
Especially when you go into public
Hmm.
bathrooms and shit
Hmm.
and things like that.
Yep. Is that on this season or no?
So
No, that's in the
no, it's
later
not going.
season. Yeah.
I think season
Yeah.
4 or season 3.
Okay. Okay.
Also, too, somebody else winds up getting whacked at the very first of the season as well. It was where they were talking shit about Tony, about his own mother trying to whack him.
Yeah. Yeah. That was on season 2.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was one Patsy's twin brother,
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
and they had to whack him
Yeah.
because of the fact that he was talking
Yep.
noise.
That's right. Yep.
And also, too, there's a little bit of Godfather reference in that.
Is there?
Yeah, instead of saying, "Oh, don't forget the granolis," the wife comes out there and says, "I forgot what she tells her husband not to forget." He goes, "I won't forget."
Yep, that's
And
right.
of course,
You're right. I remember that. Now I can't remember either. It wasn't a cannoli though. She said something else. Yeah. Oh
right,
yeah, I do remember that. That's the episode where the guy shot him in the car and it like blew his eardrums. Right. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Uh, let's see here. Like I said, there's the other thing I have to say that I liked was as soon as Christopher's hardly in there because he's getting high on heroin.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Him and some other junkie are together just shooting up the whole time. Yeah.
Right. And also, too, I'm going to ask you this question because this was actually on Talking Sopranos. But do you think that they already got a little bit of information about Tony's nephew? It's like, okay, I know somebody that we can actually distract him. It'll be one less person at the dinner table.
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
go on
I
ahead.
could see that because they set Chris up with that guy who was already addicted to heroin. You know.
Right.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I agree with you on that. I could definitely see them trying to get some information on Tony's family
Yeah,
because they don't know them.
that's right. Yeah, that's actually
They're outsiders
that's
to them.
actually genius, and I didn't put that together. That's actually that's smart.
Right, because it gets rid of the weakest person at the
Yep.
table, which would be
Yep.
Christopher,
Hmm.
and then they can discuss their business without having to worry about anything.
Right. Right.
Um, but it's from what Michael Lamparoli said about Italy, though, it's like the exact opposite of what they showed us on The Sopranos.
Yeah.
He's, they said their bathroom is spotless. It's just,
They just
when you have an expectation, huh?
yeah they had to do that to make it work or whatever. Yeah, but yeah, I've heard it's actually a very clean place.
Right, because it's how you have your expectations on this high scale, and then all of a sudden they get lowered
Oh yeah.
when you finally get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's almost everything in life.
Right, and then also too, you also have Pussy's wife that's telling Carmela and them that she wants to divorce Pussy in this episode,
Yeah.
and of course Carmela says, "Why don't you just go on ahead and get the divorce?" and stuff like that, and also too. She's also talking about when Sal comes home, she's just sad and depressed like an empty shell.
Wait. What? Wait. Who did? Say that again. I'm sorry. Say that again.
When you have Sal, which is Pussy's wife,
Hmm.
when he comes home, she's just said, "Look, I'm just depressed. I'm this empty shell when he comes
That's
home."
right. Okay. Yeah. I spaced out for a second when you were talking. I was like, "Who the hell is he talking about?" And I was like, "Okay."
Right.
That's right.
It's all right. But yeah, then when Tony comes home, it's that same feeling that Pussy's wife had.
Yep. Yep.
Because remember, he goes, hey, I'm home. And there's this
It's just
empty feeling
silent.
that Camilla
Yeah.
actually has. It's like, shit,
Hmm.
he's home.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Then Big Girls Don't Cry is also this other episode that was on this season 2.
Okay. What was that one about?
This one was about it was dealing with Tony's deal after he actually meets up with the mob woman who's actually does the business deal and everything. And part of the deal was he would actually take Furio with him.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. That's right. And that's when this episode. That's when Carmela meets Furio, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was. I knew that
and
was a disaster. You know what I'm saying? Like when they first met, I was like, oh yeah, the way they're looking at each other, this ain't gonna be good. You know?
no, but it doesn't play out until like season 4.
Yeah.
So I like how they actually waited and set the groundwork in season
Yeah.
2 and let it build.
Hmm.
That's actually good writing
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like
because
they
don't
could
forget,
see something in the future, basically. You know, they could just like, oh, we can
right?
make this work. Yeah. I mean, it is very good writing.
I agree with you. And then also too, she's also wanted to be with that wallpaper guy.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Remember
And,
that in this season?
yep. And I mean, it's like I remember Carmela getting a lot of hate off of that. You know what I'm saying? Off of her wanting to cheat and go. And I remember people talking about it and shit, like going to school and people talking about it. But think about how much Tony was cheating on Carmela. Now, I'm not saying that two wrongs
Right,
make a right. I get that. But you also got to think like she was, going through a lot of shit, with Tony. So it's like she wasn't
right,
making good decisions.
right. She was unhappy with her
That's right.
marriage,
And
but she likes benefiting from it though
yeah.
too.
And you
But
know how it is coming up in an Italian family and shit. They just, they don't believe in divorce. They don't, they do everything they can to not, you know, get divorced. You know?
right.
Yeah.
Another thing though too in this episode, don't forget we actually see Pussy actually ratting out Tony
Hmm.
and everything
Yeah.
else to Skip,
Oh yeah. Yep. That's the
and also trying to pretend that he's a cop and all that other stuff.
yeah. Wait, pretend you well, who was pretending to be a cop? I don't remember that.
Pussy was actually pretending to be a cop because remember, he thinks that he can actually have a shot at being a FBI agent after all the shit he's done. So he has it in his head that he could actually be an FBI agent.
Hmm.
And Skip has to tell him, hey, look, you're not going to be an FBI agent just because you're telling me all this stuff. You're going to do time in jail. After you do time in jail, going into the witness protection program.
Hmm. Yep.
That's the reality
That's
of
right.
it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else around that.
It's either rat your friends out or spend the rest of your life in jail. That's
Right.
it.
But but don't forget, Pussy also runs over somebody while he was also trying to spy on Chris.
Yes. The Elvis guy.
Well, the Elvis guy he whacked because he saw Pussy and Skip inside that cheap party
That's right.
store.
Yep. That's right. Who did he run over?
He ran over some random person while trying to spy on Chris.
I can't. I don't recall that. I don't remember that part.
Yeah, because he was actually using code names in the tape recorder
Okay.
and pretending he was doing a stakeout.
I don't. Man, I'm not recalling that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one. I just don't remember it.
Yeah,
Fucking hell,
he
no.
winds up running over a pedestrian
No
while
shit.
trying to spy on
Yeah.
him. And
What
and
episode is this? Is
huh?
this the fourth episode or fifth?
I forgot what episode it is. I'll let you
Yeah.
know which one it
Yeah.
is after the
I definitely got to
podcast.
rewatch that one because it's just I'm blanking out. I don't remember that episode.
Yeah, he's like he goes on ahead. Skip comes into the emergency room because Pussy also got injured. He goes, "What the hell, Sal? What the fuck were you
Hmm.
doing?" He goes, "Hey, I was just trying to do what you do. I was just trying to see what was going on with Christopher and everything, and I accidentally ran over this other pedestrian
Dang,
on a
that's
bicycle."
driving me nuts, man. And I don't remember that.
And he goes, "It's okay though. I used my son's car. No one's gonna know."
No. Shit, man. I definitely got to
Yeah,
rewatch that one for sure.
I'll let you know after we get done because I'll go through season 2 real quick and I'll let you
Okay,
know.
that'll work. Good.
But yeah, there's a lot of back and forth between Pussy thinking that he's actually going to be an FBI agent after
I
all
do
this.
remember that, because that happened through the whole season pretty much of him talking to Skip.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, too, this is also introducing us to that guy who has that bad gambling habit.
Oh, the one with the sports store. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that guy.
which is the Happy
Yeah,
Wanderer.
okay, yeah, that guy screws himself so bad. Shit.
He owed money to Richie, which is a big
Oh
mistake.
God, yeah.
I'd much rather owe money to Tony
Mhm.
than
Yeah,
Richie.
for sure.
That's just me though. If I had to pick between
Well,
two
see,
evils,
Richie will just kill you, but Tony
right?
will ruin your life, But at least you're
Yeah,
alive for the most part, because well, you're alive as long as you can give something to him. You know what I mean? Yeah.
right.
So, but
And
Richie just don't give a shit. Richie will just kill you. You know.
right, no questions asked. Don't care if he gets the money or
That's right.
not.
Yeah.
He made his point. He made his statement, and that's it. Tony, on the other hand, sees a business opportunity. He's
Exactly.
going to take it.
You see, Tony's all about business, all about making more money and getting as high as he can on the food chain. And that's what you
Right,
need in a leader. That's what you need in especially in a mob boss. You want your organization to get as big as it can. You know, so
right.
that's why you need somebody like
And don't
him.
forget though, uh, the guy also tried after this happens at the poker
Mhm.
table. The guy decides that he's going to try and sell his son's car over to Tony, and then Tony uses it as a way to get Meadow a
Right.
graduation
Yep.
gift.
Yeah. And Meadow didn't like that.
No,
Yeah, I remember that.
but the reason why this thing is actually called the Happy Wanderer is because he tells Dr. Milfy, Tony does, that people who make him miserable are the Happy
Yeah.
Wanderers.
Yep.
So at a poker session, I forgot how much money he owes to Tony. I think it's 45,000
Yeah. It's a
or
high
somewhere around.
number. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and not including what he actually owes to Richie. But I love what Tony does to his store. Though I feel bad for the dude, but
Yeah.
at the same time, he did it to
He did it to
himself.
himself. That's it. Yeah.
But I liked it whenever he goes, Tony, they're gonna eat my ass for this. Look what they are doing.
Yeah.
And he's saying, and my favorite thing that he does is get back in your fucking tent.
Yeah. That was great, man. And what did he do? He went back in that fucking tent.
Right.
That was great.
That was a great line though. The
Yeah.
way he says it is just it's dark comedy at its
Yeah.
best.
Hell yeah.
And then he tries to get them to do the airplane
Mm-hmm.
tickets
Yep.
as
He's
comps.
busting them out. That's what it's called. Bust out or something like that. Yeah.
Right. If you remember though, I know that he wasn't trying to scam Artie or anything like that, but he was actually trying to use a way to actually get him out of that whole entire situation where there wouldn't be a whack inside his kitchen.
Poor Artie, man.
Right. So I'm wondering is like, okay, if Artie did take those tickets, would he be ending up just like his mom
Right.
did at the airport?
Fucking Artie
Being
Bucco.
right.
Yeah. Yep.
But doesn't that actually make you wonder though if Artie actually used that airplane tickets like his mom used that airline ticket, if he would actually be sitting in
Oh
there with the
shit.
FBI?
Yeah, that that would have been bad.
So his for once he actually listens to his wife and his wife was right.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, if that would have
So
been him, oh my god, man. That poor bastard. He couldn't get a break,
right?
man. He could not get a break.
No, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked how they do that, and then they make that him order these red coolers,
Yeah.
those cheap coolers that we all grew up with when we were
Oh yeah.
little.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Why would I order the same ones? Because you're gonna fucking do it. That's why."
Get back in your fucking tent. That's too good. Uh,
Tony, look what they're doing. Get back in your fucking tent. I'll tell you when to come.
uh,
And then
uh,
And then of course, Janice makes an attempt to manipulate Richie as well,
Okay, how did she do that? I don't remember. You have to remind me.
where she's trying to get into his head by saying that he should be the next boss
Yeah, yeah. That's sneaky
and
ass.
everything.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then there's the D Girl episode we talked about after that.
Mm-hmm.
Then the full leather jacket episode, which is the one that we actually talked about.
Yeah, and he gets his feelings hurt like a little girl.
Right. And get this, he was actually making fun of his own son for dancing, and here you
Yeah,
are
yeah.
being upset about
About a
a
freaking
damn
jacket. Yeah.
jacket.
They're all,
Let's see.
man, they're all like a bunch of kids, like overgrown
They
kids. They
are.
really are.
Let's see. Matt. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. The dude from Bronx Tales in this though too.
Oh, which one?
Collateral. C.
No shit. That's
Because
right.
remember, this
Yep.
is
Yeah, he was.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Oh, this was it.
So
That was a
if you
good episode.
remember,
That was a great episode. Yeah.
right? There's something else I forgot to mention in the first episode is Chris is actually trained to be a stockbroker.
Yep. That's right.
And that's how he met Matthew Bacala.
Yep.
This is where the whole entire thing happens with Pussy
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and everything too. So I really like that the actor who was in A Bronx Tale was in this season.
Mm-hmm.
And get this, he actually was in trouble with the law a couple of years back.
In real life, yeah. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
he in real life
Oh
and everything,
shit.
huh?
Oh, I was. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to send you a link to that interview that Christian Harloff
Mm-hmm.
did with that guy and everything because he did a lot of shitty shit. Like no shit. Like
Like, it,
no agent wanted to take him or anything.
damn, I didn't know that. Like, is
Yeah,
he all good now? He's all cleared up and shit now, or is he still all fucked
yeah,
up?
he's fine
Oh,
now
okay.
and everything. It's just that he's trying to get himself back out there
Yeah, he
again.
was a good actor. I guess that I didn't even realize, but yeah, he kind of fell off. You didn't really see much after, you know. Uh,
Exactly. Not after this,
yeah.
anyways. But
Wow, that's a shame.
yeah, it really is. I love seeing actors that we haven't seen in a while come back.
Yeah, that's
But
always good.
so I'm hoping that he'll actually make a big comeback later
Yeah,
on in the
right,
future.
right.
But you know, let's see. Then from where to eternity, Christopher claims to wit. Oh yeah,
Well,
there's also another thing though too. I forgot to
they end
mention.
up whacking your boy, right?
Yeah, they wind up whacking him because remember, Sean and him both were pretty much fanboys over
Yeah.
Tony and wanted to do anything that they can possible with Tony
Oh, and
and wanted to work
they
with Tony.
robbed the poker game.
Right, they robbed the poker
Mm-hmm.
game, and then also too shot Christopher.
Yes, yeah, they did.
That was the biggest thing. That's what
Oh
made
yeah,
them get
that's right.
whacked.
That's a fucking great episode, man.
But I think my favorite one with them in it though is the executive game, which is the same executive game that the degenerate gamblers at. And they said don't say anything to Silvio or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that because he'll go off on you.
Right.
And Silvio actually dropped some cheese on the floor, and Tony told him to go ahead and sweep underneath his feet.
Yeah.
He goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" He goes, "I was told to sweep underneath your feet." He goes, "I wanted this." This is what he says. He goes, "Maybe I wanted it in between my fucking toes."
Yeah. Fucking sarcastic prick.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole reason why they even got whacked in the first place was because of the fact that they whacked Christopher. Christopher shoots Sean. Sean is dead. The one that's out on the run is, of course, the kid from the Bronx Tale.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
So, there's a lot of stuff that's actually gone through that whole entire
Mm-hmm.
season. Uh,
And
but
Tony was actually kind of questioning that Pussy was a rat, and then when Pussy helped him kill him, it kind of it made Tony comfortable again with him. You know what I'm saying? It kind of pulled him back in,
Right.
because Pussy was showing him like, I'll pull the trigger too. It don't just have to be you. So that was a good. It was a good. He was fooling Tony for sure.
He was definitely fooling Tony. It also gave him back on his good
Yeah,
graces for a little
yeah, for
bit.
sure. Yep.
And also, too, somebody also ID'd him. They didn't ID Pussy, but they ID'd Tony, I think,
Yeah.
if you
Yep.
remember.
That's right.
And you know, then that's when Skip tells him. He said, "Were you with Tony at all during that time with the Bacalot kid?"
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "No, but if I did do something like that, wouldn't that actually make me be on his good graces if I did happen to be there?" Which he's actually ratting his own self out.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, but you can't say that, because if you say, "Yeah, I helped pull the trigger," it's like,
That's it. That's the end of
it's
the
done.
deal.
It's over. Yep. So.
Okay, so from here, we're to eternity. Okay, Michael Imperioli wrote this one, not Funhouse.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But don't forget, Adriana also gave him acting classes. Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
And my favorite thing is whenever they're doing the acting class thing and they're trying to go back and forth with A and B, and then all of a sudden the guy's like A. All of a sudden he punches the
Yeah.
dude because of the fact that he ends up crying because it brought back a bad
And
memory.
anybody who ends up becoming close with anybody in the Sopranos, they end up getting fucking whacked or something happens to them. It's like everybody in the Sopranos is just bad luck. If you think about it,
Right.
if you get linked up with them, you're
You know what?
screwed.
Exactly. But I think we're going to try and skip a little bit since we're actually pressing for time a
Yeah.
little.
Okay.
So let's go on ahead and just get into the season
Okay.
finale
Okay.
where Tony gets food
Mm-hmm.
poisoning. But I also want to talk about Richie dying, though, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh shit, Richie.
So
Richie
let's go
dies in
on.
the second season. He was only in there for one season.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
I was
only there
thinking
for
he
one
went all the way to the
season.
third season. Oh, okay.
No. Because third season, they're introducing
Yeah.
Ralphie
Yeah, that's right.
and everything. And not only that, but Richie has been doing coke deals, making Tony's blood pressure
Mm-hmm.
go up, making him break out in rashes, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So he's been on Tony's death list
Mm-hmm.
for a while. Not only that, but too, Melfi's also he hasn't seen Ralphie Melfi in a while either because she wasn't sure too if she should take Tony
Yeah.
back or not.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But you know, and you're thinking he was gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
kill Richie himself, but instead
Janice
Janice
ends up
winds
whacking
up
him.
being the one
Yep.
who kills him
Yep. And that was, I mean, and
at
he
the dinner
deserved
table.
it. He was a fucking piece of shit, but still, you know. And then Tony
Well,
actually came and took care of him for Janice. Yeah. Yep.
right.
That was a good.
And another thing though too is remember what he tells Chris. He said, "You're not allowed to put your hands on my niece until you actually have a ring on
That's
her
right.
finger."
Yep.
So get this, he had a ring on Janice's finger, so therefore he can do anything he
Yeah.
wanted
In
to do.
Tony's eyes, yeah, for sure. Yep.
Right. So Tony does come over there, cleans up, and of course Carmela thinks that he's having an affair.
Yeah.
So she calls up over at Janice's house and everything. He answers the phone, and then she hangs
Right.
up.
Yep.
But my favorite line, though, with that scene, like the day after,
Yeah.
is the fact that what you do with him? What happened to him? He goes, I had I had a funeral for him.
Yeah.
We sang Kumbaya, and I gave him.
Yeah.
He goes, what the fuck do you think I did, Janice?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
We sang
and
Kumbaya.
then
Yeah.
was what the fuck do you want me to tell you that I did
Uh-huh.
with him?
Mhm.
And then at that point, she was no longer the mob wife. She was back to being a
Yeah.
Buddhist again.
Yeah. Flip flopping all over the place.
Right. So then after that happens, once they have all that stuff going on. Of course, there's other stuff that actually
Yeah, for sure.
happens.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna skip over to the funhouse part, and this is actually one of both of our
Mhm.
favorite ones. And get this, the second season wasn't actually one of the best seasons on HBO. It was actually the lowest
Hmm.
ratings. I didn't know
No,
if you
I
knew
did
that or
not know
not.
that. No shit. Wow.
Yeah, because there was not that much action going on in it or anything
Yeah.
like that.
It was a very important
So,
season, though. Very important. Yeah.
right. But, I like the whole entire idea that Tony gets food
Yeah.
poisoning the day before Meadows'
Hmm.
graduation. And then as the things progress and everything, but you're seeing from his dream aspect over to uh, the real life situation, he thinks that he got food poisoning from Ari.
Yeah. Yep.
And then he was also thinking about the Buddhist place that they actually had where they had hummus, which is also
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
That they so I liked how they actually played that out. I'm
Yeah.
gonna let
No.
you
Well, see,
talk about
what I
that
like
scene.
about it is, the dreaming aspect of it is how he figured out that pussy was a rat from the dreams, and it's the dreams are so off the wall, man, like just so weird and crazy, and that's how, especially when you're running a fever like that, fever dreams work that way. They're just nuts, crazy shit. But if you pay attention to the dreams, there's usually something in that dream that's that you can use, and that's what he did. He figured out that his best friend, one of his best friends, was the rat, from that dream. And it was just, I mean,
Right.
it's interesting, what I'm saying. It was funny, is what they had a lot of comedic parts in it too, like when Pussy was the fish and he's talking, from the fish. That shit was pretty funny. But, the
That
fish
was
is talking.
funny, but at the same time, it's like a message saying that he's going to be
Yeah,
sleeping with the
yeah, it was all
fishes.
metaphors and shit, and I love that, man. I like picking pieces out. It's like clues. You're looking for clues, and I love that. And I thought they did very well with that episode. And I can't believe Chris is the one who, or Michael is the one who directed that.
Well,
Oh, no, that's right.
actually,
You
I
got it
got
mixed up. Okay,
I got that
okay,
one wrong. To be
okay.
honest with you, David Chase wrote. A matter of fact, David Chase was the one who
Hmm.
directed this one, not wrote it. John Patterson
Okay,
wrote this one,
okay.
but Michael Imperioli did write a certain
Yeah,
episode.
yeah, okay, yeah.
So
But then,
I forgot which one,
oh, I'm sorry. Which one?
but I just forgot which one
Mm.
it was because I remember him talking about it. Steve Buscemi also wrote an
Oh,
episode.
really? No shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was that. I didn't know he
So
was that involved.
me either. Up until Michael Imperioli was talking about it
No
on the
shit.
show.
I need to start watching that because I've heard a lot of good things about that podcast.
Oh, it's an awesome podcast, and if not only that, but if you can't watch it, you can also listen to it on the audio only
Okay.
podcast,
Okay.
which is how I'm doing it.
That's how I got to listen to a lot of my podcasts because I'm always driving back and forth to work. Yeah.
Right. But I'll tell you what's actually funny though. There's actually a little beef thing between them with the T-shirts. That's
Yeah.
hilarious because he's always said Michael's name's bigger than his
Yeah.
name
Uh
on the
huh.
T-shirts, and he goes, "There you are again, trying to act like you're more important than I am, having your name
Oh,
bigger
so
than
they go back
mine."
and forth. Yeah.
Yeah. He goes, and Michael's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? It's just a T-shirt." He goes, so they bust each other's balls on the show. It's really good. They also have guests from the show come on and things like that. They had Falco that came on, which is also the woman
Yeah.
who plays
Carmella. Yeah.
Camilla. They also had a couple of other actors on there though too. They also had the guy who played Jackie
Yeah.
Senior
Yeah.
on there though too. So it was really good. Even Janice is on there though
Okay.
too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out for sure. But
But
yeah, at the end of the episode, when they're about to shoot Pussy, man, it's like I that hurt me, man. That hurt me because I mean I love Pussy. He was my favorite character. Even when I found out he was the rat, I still loved him.
same here. And then they're on the boat, And, also, too, Tony goes up to his room before they get on the boat and he finds the wire. He goes back and it confirms it. And you can definitely tell that he gives Silvio a kind of a
Mm-hmm.
nod. And then they get on the boat and Pussy's like, look, man, I didn't give him a lot of information or anything like that. I didn't tell him anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I forgot what kind of job that he told him that he gave him or whatever, but Tony's not buying into it that this time. He goes, well, if you're going to kill me, don't shoot me in the
Yeah.
face. Don't shoot me in the face. Let it be an
Yeah.
open casket.
Yeah. That was sad, man. I know, and that killed Tony. Tony was never the same, really. After that, he was never the same. You know,
No, because he was never really close to anybody
no,
after that. If you
no, he
actually,
couldn't. Like he couldn't let himself get close. Because of what happened. And I mean, it was just, and
right,
it felt real, man. It felt like it was perfect. That episode, even though it was sad, it was such a good episode. It was so well played out. Yep.
agreed. Is there anything extra that you actually want to talk about with it?
No, that's about it, man. Because what else can I say? It's a phenomenal episode. It's fantastic.
Exactly, and then not only that, but they also removed Pussy's
Mm-hmm.
jewelry and stuff like that, and then they dump him into
Yep.
the ocean.
Yep.
But I really like the second season for what it is. I've had a lot of good moments with the second
Oh yeah.
season. It's the third season that I really want to lay into uh, the villain of that season,
Yeah. Which one was that? Which
which would be, of course, none other than not
Ralphie?
Richie, but
Oh yeah.
Ralphie.
Dude, man, it's a love hate thing with Ralphie. I love him, but
Hmm.
I hate that little motherfucker.
I do
Yeah.
too. But we'll talk about that though too
Yep.
later on. We're doing another talking
Yeah.
Sopranos
Sure.
thing, but I just like skimming through
Hmm.
stuff, things that we talked about, and
Yeah.
things like that, rather than go step
Right.
by step
Right. Yeah. Because I mean, if,
with
if
this
if you go
because
step by step, it would take several episodes just to cover the season. For sure.
right, exactly. Which is also why I think the Sopranos podcast just does one episode on a Monday
Yeah.
and that's it,
Yeah.
and then they go into the next episode on the
Right.
next Monday.
Right.
But I really like just going into this thing, just talking about the stuff that we love about the show, the writing of the
Absolutely.
show, some behind the
Yep.
scenes stuff.
That
It's
is
just
good. It
great.
is good. Yep.
All right. So where can everybody reach you at?
You can get me on Facebook or Instagram at MRPJ Sketches.
Okay. And everybody, you guys can follow me at Movie Lovers TV Lovers Unite on Facebook. Of course, we also have a GoFundMe page now for the podcast. We also have another site that you can actually go ahead and donate towards the show if you guys want to. You guys don't have to. It's called www.buymeacoffee.com/movie lovers. You can get that in the show notes below. Not only that, guys, but we also have a place for all your entertainment news and everything called movieloversunite.com. We also have a Pinterest up now for Movie Lovers TV Lovers Unite. You can also follow me on Twitter at Movie Lovers Unit and also on Twitter at John DeGorio8. We also have an Instagram for Movie Lovers TV Lovers Unite. And I also want to mention this. We also have a Patreon now. So we're going to start doing some documentary series. That's going to be in the $10 tier. $5 tier is going to be your classic movies. We're going to be reviewing movies from the 1950s over into the 1990s or whatever is defined as a classic movie. And then we also have a $20 tier. We can actually get both of those packages for $20. So we have that going on. So if you guys want to, go ahead and subscribe to the Patreon. We'll have that in the description notes below. Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Time, we're actually doing a Back to the Future trilogy review on the YouTube channel. So check us out there live at 8 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And always and until next time, bye-bye. And it's been a
Oh yeah,
pleasure,
man.
man.